Are you guys? Yes, 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 I am just a little late. You wouldn't believe the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Alexa, what time is Audrey's reading area?
Audrey reads in her area at 5 o'clock p.m.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, on this wonderful educational Tuesday, we're going to hit like, aren't we? And then we're going to hit share, aren't we? And then when I'm done with this video, you're going to go on over to YouTube to Audrey's reading area, and you're going to smash that subscribe button for me. All right, all right, all right. All right. Yes. The educational book that I have for you today, fun, exciting, and educational book that I'll be reading to you today. And let me just warn you, it may be a little sensitive to some young ones, so you may want to watch it first to see what I'm going to read, so you can decide whether or not you want your young one to see this. This is the name of the book. What's happening to me? What's happening to me? This book is an illustrated guide to puberty. An illustrated guide to puberty. It's written by best-selling author Peter Mayle, and it's illustrated by Audrey Reads. Yes, authors of Where Did I Come From? And this is What's Happening to Me. What's happening to me? So once again, this might be a sensitive issue. You may not want your kids to see it, so you can let them do a little bit of homework right now while you watch this, and then okay it for your kids. All right, all right, all right. On the back, it says, for more than 20 years, What's Happening to Me has helped parents explain puberty to their children who are experiencing growing pains. Yes. More than 1 million children and young adults have enjoyed the humor and honesty in this book. Honesty is the best policy. While learning, okay, I'm going to read it again. More than 1 million children and young adults have enjoyed the humor and honesty in this book while learning what really happens to their bodies as they mature. Yes. So Peter Mayle and Audrey Reads are the best-selling team, also responsible for Where Did I Come From? So let's see what it has to say. What's happening to me? I wish I read this book when I was going through puberty. I tell you. It says, this book is for all of you who are suffering from growing pains. We hope it brings some fast relief. Well, I hope that's for me, because I'm experiencing some growing pains too. Or is that just older pains? Everybody goes through it. Nobody talks about it. Everybody goes through it. Nobody talks about it. Don't let anyone fool you. People say that your childhood and school days are about the happiest time of your life. That's not altogether true. The years between 10 and 14 may be a lot of fun, but physically, they'll probably be among the most puzzling years of your life. That's because you're turning from a child into a young adult. Big changes are taking place, both in your mind and in your body. Although you're not a child anymore, you're not an adult yet. This book is about the time in between. Yeah. When they start to happen, wait a minute, I might have skipped the, no, I did not. About the time in between. So it says, when they start to happen, it may be hard for you to understand and adjust to them. What makes it hard is that nobody talks about them very much. Your parents may have forgotten what it's like to be your age and to have your problems. Teachers are often too busy teaching school to explain. And your friends, who may try to act sophisticated, usually don't know any more than you do. This book can be very helpful to you. It won't solve all your problems or even answer all your questions, but when you're through reading it, you should know a lot more about what's happening to you and be a lot better prepared to cope with it. We've tried to touch all the important bases, but if you still have unanswered questions, talk to people you can trust. They can help, and you'll find, if you're not embarrassed about asking questions, that they won't be embarrassed about giving you the answers. A school teacher just doesn't have the time to answer everybody's questions. Look at this. Take it from me, it's true. And they do have a lot of questions. All the changes you're going through and will go through are quite normal. They're nothing to be ashamed of, and certainly nothing to be afraid of. Remember that. Remember, too, that you're not the only one who has ever gone through this difficult time. It happened to your parents. Yes, it did. It happened to your heroes. And most movie stars have had pimples. The best football player in the world probably worried when he was a boy because he didn't have much hair on his chest. And some of the most beautiful women were very homely as little girls. Despite that, they all came through it pretty well, and so will you. It says you don't need a hairy chest to be tough. Why you change? The main reason you change is very simple. Nature changes you from a child into an adult so you can mate and reproduce the human species. In other words, so that you can have children of your own. The instinct to reproduce is common to all living things, from fleas to flowers to elephants. Every living thing reproduces from the smallest flea to the biggest elephant. Look at that. But it would be bad organization on nature's part if you could start having babies when you were only 5 or 6 years old. Imagine you could be a grandparent at the age of 12. So nature waits. She begins the process sometime between the years during the years between 10 and 13. These years, called the puberty years, are very best ones for both your mind and your body. Many of the biggest changes in your life begin to take place now. And this says, a 12-year-old grandmother? It's impossible. Is puberty catching? No, it's not a disease. It's the medical name for the process we're describing, the change from child to adult. Yeah. Obviously, the changes a girl goes through are not the same changes that a boy goes through. So to give you a clearer idea of what happens and when, we've done 2 charts. Before you look at them, remember this. It's very important. The changes that happen to the girl and the boy in this book won't happen to you at exactly the same age. We're all different, and we all grow at different speeds. With some of us, the changes start early. With some, they come later. You will change at different times than your friends. It doesn't mean you're any better or worse than they are. It just means you're you. You're you. That's why you should only use these charts as a rough guide. Don't time yourself by them. Often, but not always, girls grow up faster than boys. They taller and mature faster, yes. So you can go ahead and check out these pictures. Let me try to show them to you. Girl's Guide. This is the Girl's Guide. 8 to 10 years old. Unless you're an early starter, puberty hasn't really begun yet. You don't have breasts or pubic hair, and most girls this age are not specially interested in boys. 11 to 12 years old, puberty gets going. Your breasts start to develop, nipples begin to stand out, pubic hair makes its first appearance, and your hips become a little broader. Your voice may get slightly lower, and you may start to have periods, monthly periods. 13 to 14 years old. This is often the age when you start having regular periods. You're not growing up quite as fast now, but your body is still busy. Pubic hair and breasts continue to flourish. 15 to 16 years old. By now, your emotional life is probably in full swing. And boys have well, what it says, and boys have well and truly taking over as major subjects of interest. Along with that, often comes an increase in your confidence. Now, 17 to 18-year-olds, you're now pretty much a young woman and no longer a little girl. Breasts, pubic hairs, and hips have developed. Although your emotional development will continue, your physical development is just about complete. And this is a picture chart. And it says 8 to 10 years old, 11 to 12 years old, 13 to 14 years old. This is 15 to 16 years old, and that's 17 to 18 years old. The Boy's Guide, 8 to 10 years old. As you can see, not a sign of pubic hair yet, and the penis is still quite small. Shoulders are slim, and the body shape is not too different from that of a little girl. 11 to 12 years old. The hormone testosterone gets to work. You grow faster, your shoulders and chest become broader, your penis gets thicker and longer. Your voice may deepen too, but it generally doesn't break just yet. 13 to 14-year-old. Usually a very busy couple of years. Your first pubic hair, your first wet dream, and the breaking of your voice could all happen around this age. Meanwhile, you're still growing fast. 15 to 16 years old. Sadly, this is often the age of the pimple. Yeah, the texture of your skin changes, and your sebaceous glands are producing so much oil, you may get quite a few spots and blackheads. 17 to 18 years old. By now, you're probably having to shave. If not every day, then once or twice a week. Your earlier interest in girls may now be concentrated on one special girl. One. I said one. Special girl. Physically, you're a fully developed man. Over here it says 8 to 10 years old. This one is 11 to 12 years old. This guy is 13 to 14 years old. This one is 15 to 16 years old. And this one is 17 to 18 years old. Yes. Right now that you've had a look at the charts, you're starting to find out what's happening to you. We've explained some of the words and the changes in the pages that follow. And we've done it with questions and answers because that seemed to be the most direct way to tell you what you want to know. We call these the world's most embarrassing questions because that's what they are. At least they were to us when we were your age. Try not to be embarrassed. These changes happen to everyone, you guys. Everyone. But first, a word from your hormones. Here we go. A word from your hormones. Before going any further, it's high time you were introduced to your hormones. They're produced in organs in your body called glands. You never see them, so they're difficult to describe, but they're very important. If you didn't have glands and hormones, you wouldn't change into an adult. The hormones we're talking about the hormones that we're talking about come in two sexes, just like people. And they have pretty fancy names. The female sex hormone is called estrogen. The male hormone is called testosterone. These two aren't the only hormones in your body by any means, but they're the ones to remember because they're the ones that cause most of your physical changes. And they're going to be very busy during the next few pages. It says testosterone and estrogen are two very lively hormones during puberty. Oh, yeah. The world's most embarrassing questions. Some of these questions only apply to girls, some only to boys. We put them together because we thought you might like to know what happens to the opposite sex while you're going through your changes. Puberty is pretty much the same the whole world over, pretty much. Happens to everybody, everywhere, no matter where you're from. Why is my chest getting bumpy? That's a question. Why is my chest getting bumpy? If you're a girl, one day you'll look in the mirror and there they'll be. Two distinct bumps where before there was nothing but a flat expanse of chest. Incidentally, boys' breasts sometimes get slightly larger and a little tender during puberty. This is quite normal. It will disappear as the male hormones get to work. So don't worry if you're a boy and you get a little bumpy too. It'll go away. But for girls, these bumps signal the beginnings of your breasts. And they might make you feel a little self-conscious until you've gotten used to having them. I don't think I got used to having mine. I didn't want them. They go away. I was an athlete. I was into sports. I was into exercise. They got my way. I didn't want them, but that's a whole nother story. Also, if your breasts develop early, some of your girlfriends may try to make fun of you. Let it pass. These jokes are usually caused by jealousy on the part of the girls who aren't developing quite as fast as you. So don't worry, you'll find that breasts are nice to have in more ways than one. Not only that, but the females that are teasing you, they're going to grow theirs soon. And then you can tease them back or it'll stop. You and your breast, the beginning of a beautiful friendship, it says. Yes, get that training bra. Here's something else you'll notice about breasts. Next time you go out, take a look at the women you see walking along the street. Their breasts come in many shapes and sizes. Big ones, small ones, high ones, low ones, melon-shaped, pear-shaped, pointed, flat, and so on. But every breast, however, different in shape, has a nipple. This is the small, slightly darker part on the tip of each breast, and it's usually the most sensitive part of the breast. Being so sensitive, touching it or having it touched gently can give you a very nice feeling. Nice as that can be, however, it's not the only reason you have nipples. Nature put them there to act as milk faucets for your baby. The nipples is the place where mother's milk actually comes out of the breast. And that's how you feed your babies. That's really the purpose of the breast, to feed your babies. When does breast development begin? Well, it can start any time between the ages of 8 and 13. When it says, when isn't important? The important thing is that you're happy to have them. All sizes and all shapes are attractive to the opposite sex. And now sometimes the same sex. Big ones are beautiful. Small ones are beautiful. Breasts are lovely and useful parts of your body. Be proud of them. Breasts, like women, come in all shapes and sizes. Yep, all different shapes and sizes. What's an erection? What's an erection? If you're a boy, you have something in common with every other boy. You have a penis. When your penis gets stiff, it becomes bigger than usual. That's called an erection. You won't remember your first erection. It probably happened when you were just a few weeks or months old. Since then, your penis has taken it easy and you've only had erections at odd intervals. But now you'll notice that it begins to happen more and more often. Sometimes you get an erection for no reason at all. Other times it happens because you see a girl and start thinking about how it would feel to touch her or kiss her. Most erections then begin in your head because of something you're thinking. This causes extra blood to rush from other parts of your body into your penis. And that's why it becomes bigger and stiffer than usual. You may wonder why the extra blood comes to your penis rather than, for instance, your big toe. Well, the area around your penis has suddenly become very, very active. Amazing and wonderful things are happening. Under your penis is a small bag of skin containing your testicles, usually called balls or scrotum. There are two of them, usually, and they're busy. They're producing sperm and they're producing testosterone. Testosterone, as you've read, is the male sex hormone. It makes your pubic hair grow and your voice get deeper. Semen is the fluid that carries the sperm. And sperm makes babies when they join up with the woman's egg. For most of the time, though, your sperm are inside your body, waiting and twiddling their thumbs. What they really like to do is get out. Is a little sperm right here. Sperm can't do very much except sit around until you get an erection. Now there's only one exit for the sperm, through the hole at the end of your penis. When your penis is soft, that's the hole you urinate through. But when it's erect, it's the way out for sperm, carrying semen that travels up special tubes from testicles. So really, an erection is your sperm telling you they want to come out. That's all. It's normal. It's natural. And very soon, you'll find that releasing the semen, which is called ejaculating or coming, is a very pleasurable feeling. One last word about erections. They sometimes happen just at the moment when you wish they wouldn't. Like at the swimming pool. Or when you have to stand up in class. Don't panic. Try to think about something else. When your penis realizes you're not interested in it, the erection will go down. So you have these ladies in here and he's, a little embarrassed. What's a period? What is a period? A girl's first period can come as quite a shock. It normally happens around 12 or 13, and it can come without any warning. Tell me about it. You could be sitting in the movies or at school, or you could wake up one morning and find some blood between your legs. Just like that. That's what happened, yeah. As you can imagine, this could be frightening if you didn't anticipate it and know what it was. The blood, of course, comes from inside of you and out through your vagina. But before explaining why, there are a few general facts about periods that you should know. At the time of your period, you may have a stomach ache or you may feel nothing. Or pain underneath your stomach, which is called your abdomen. Pain, man. It says, sometimes for months before their first period, girls have vague abdominal pains or feel sleepy or irritable. That usually clears up, as if by magic, after you've had 2 to 3 normal periods. Dr. Earl M. Cooperman of Ottawa, Canada, reminds us to say that periods are often irregular in time and duration for the first year they occur. He adds, it is best for girls to dismiss the warnings of their well-meaning relatives about the curse and accept the discomfort of menses, the period, as a small inconvenient fact of life. Well, to be honest, they say it's the curse, but some people say it's your friend. Yeah, ask your parents about that. Another fact of life is that periods are a very necessary part of being a woman. To understand why, you need to know about your womb. Your womb is where a baby lives for the 9 months it develops inside your body. Most of the time, obviously, you haven't got a baby inside you, but your body gets prepared just in case. It says your first period is another sure sign that you're becoming a woman. Every month you make inside yourself a new lining for your womb to be ready for a baby if you should start to make one. You also produce eggs, which are microscopic in size, little tiny, tiny eggs, which are microscopic in size. These wait for their male counterparts, the sperm, to fertilize them. And every month, the old lining and unfertilized eggs have to come out to make room for the new ones. This all comes out, as you know by now, between your legs in the form of blood. How come you don't notice when other women are having their periods? They either wear a pad or something called a tampon that absorbs the blood. A tampon is worn inside the vagina. It's neat and most girls hardly feel it. Once you start having regular periods, that's what you'll use too. It's convenient, it's effective, and it lets you do pretty much everything you would normally do, even go swimming. That's if you have the tampon, not the pads. The process of having a period happens on an average of once every 28 days, although that can vary from person to person. The proper name for this is the menstrual cycle, and discharging blood is called menstruating. Whatever you call it and however long it takes to happen, you'll be startled by it at first, and a little uncomfortable, I might add. You'll be startled by it at first, but you'll get used to those few inconvenient days each month, even though they may sometimes make you a little depressed or grouchy. It just made me quiet. I just got quiet. You can have it. You want my orange juice? You can have it. Well, maybe not my orange juice, but you can have it. Just quiet. There's no getting away from the fact that periods are more of a chore than a pleasure, but they're a very necessary part of growing up to be a woman. After all, if you didn't have periods, you couldn't have children. And down here it says, don't worry if your periods don't come smack on the 28th day. The timing cycle varies from woman to woman. And she's checking her calendar here, counting those 28 days. Why is my voice acting so funny? There comes a time in every young man's life when his voice starts playing tricks on him. The tricks are caused by the larynx and vocal cords getting bigger. This affects the voice, making it break or squeak. It should happen to you when you're about 13 or 14, and for some months, you may actually have two voices. Your child's voice, which is high, and your man's voice, which is much deeper. The trouble is, there's a short time when you're never quite sure which one is going to come out when you open your mouth. You can even go from high or vice versa, low. You can go from high to low or vice versa in one sentence. Like you're talking like this and your voice goes down and it squeaks. While this is happening, you may feel that everybody must be listening to hear your voice go from squeaky to deep. Squeaky to deep. They're not. And once your new voice settles in, you can relax. It won't change again and your squeaking days will be over. And everybody knows about it. So if they tease you, that's just having fun with you. Because everybody knows about it and it happens to all y'all males. The day your voice breaks, you won't be able to reach those high notes anymore. Ah! Yes. So you're going to have to change to bass or baritone in the choir, right? Why do I get pimples? Why do I get pimples? Both girls and boys get them. And whether you call them pimples or spots or acne, some people even call them zits, there's something you can certainly do without. A few lucky people grow up without ever having a pimple rear its ugly head. I had a few. My siblings had a lot, but I had a few. But they're rare. Most of us have to put up with them for a year or two. It's a dirty trick on nature's part because it usually happens just about the time when you're getting interested in the opposite sex. There you are, hoping to look as attractive as you can when along comes a pimple. Oh my goodness, I had one on a big one on my nose one time when I was going out on a date. Oh my goodness, embarrassing. Big old, yeah. Yet strangely enough, pimples are caused by something that's good for the skin. By the time you're 13 or 14, your hormones are working overtime on your sebaceous glands. That's pronounced sebaceous. These glands live in your skin. Their job is to produce a kind of thick oil that keeps your skin supple and healthy and prevents it from drying up. Unfortunately, during this particular time of your life, your sebaceous glands get very enthusiastic and produce far more oil than your skin needs. This extra oil gets stuck in the tiny holes in your skin called pores. Then a speck of dirt gets stuck in there too. Next thing you know, you're the not too proud owner of a pimple. Pimples often happen when you become a big oil producer. Yeah, producing oil all over the face. Pimple, pimple, pimple. Look at that. What can you do about it? I say eat ice cream, but let's see what the book says. What can you do about it? Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about the overproduction of oil. Once those sebaceous glands get going, they're little devils to stop. But there are things you can do that help keep pimples at bay or at least make them go away quickly. Number one, nutritionists say you shouldn't eat too much candy or ice cream. I guess I was wrong. Or ice cream or drink too many sweets, like sodas. Your skin has quite enough sugar and oil to keep it going already. Wash a lot. Keep your skin clean and get those specks of dirt out. Number three, no matter how tempting it is, never squeeze a pimple. My bad. Never squeeze a pimple. A squeezed pimple stays around longer, hurts more, looks worse, and sometimes leaves a scar. The only good thing you can say about pimples is that they eventually go. How many adults do you see with spotty faces? Okay, we won't look at my spots. Look at this one here. Oh, pimples, popping them. Ooh. Says don't do it. Oh, I don't know if I want to talk about this one, but it's in the book. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to try to read through this one real fast. What's masturbation? I know it's a sensitive subject to you guys, so you can, turn away from it at this point. What's masturbation? If when you're younger, you read Where Did I Come From? Or some other good book on the subject, you know some of the facts of life. If you don't know them, it's time to learn. Our civilization is an advanced one, and in advanced cultures, mating is done later in life so that the young have more time to educate themselves. That's fine, except that by the age of 13 or so, your body is ready for mating. Physically, you can have children. Mentally and socially, you're not ready to have them yet. So nature has created her own solution. It's called masturbation. Men do it, women do it, even some animals do it. It's a way of getting sexual release without the full act of mating with a member of the opposite sex. Mating at too early an age is a mistake. You should first learn about birth control methods and how to use them. Also about venereal diseases and how to avoid it. Your doctor can give you good advice about both. You'll hear all kinds of strange stories about masturbation, that it makes you go blind, it makes you go crazy, or even that it makes hair grow on the palms of your hand. No hair here. It does none of these things. It's a perfectly healthy and normal function. Masturbation is usually your first sexual experience. It's sometimes called playing with yourself. Girls use their fingers to caress and rub their vagina and clitoris, a small but very sensitive area just above the entrance of your vagina. Boys do the same with their penises. This usually starts because you're thinking more and more about the opposite sex. Your imagination creates scenes that cause you to become sexually excited. Sexual tension builds up, and that's when you get the urge to touch and play with yourself. If you rub and caress long enough, you'll have an orgasm. This is a release of the sexual excitement that is built up inside of you, and it's a great feeling. To repeat, masturbation is a normal, healthy part of growing up. Don't let anyone try to make you feel guilty about it. If they do, suggest that they read Sex Without Guilt by Dr. Albert Ellis, especially his first chapter, New Light on Masturbation. We're not suggesting that you take up non-stop masturbating. For one thing, your body won't cooperate. And like everything else, if you do it to excess, it becomes boring. But masturbation doesn't have any bad effects, and it doesn't hurt anybody. So let it make you feel good, not guilty. And over here it says, don't worry, nothing dreadful happens when you masturbate. Just do it in your own privacy too. I didn't put that in, but just do it when nobody else is around. Privacy of your bedroom. Okay. Why am I getting hairy? Woo! Why am I getting hairy? With girls, it starts growing around 11 or 12. With boys, about 13 or 14. It's hair. The kind that grows on your face, if you're a boy, under your arms and between your legs. The last kind is called pubic hair because it grows in the pubic area. The only problem about pubic hair is that both girls and boys sometimes get hung up about it. They think they either have too much or too little. In fact, there's no such thing as the perfect amount of pubic hair. We all have our own little patch. Whether yours is larger or thicker or darker than your friends doesn't matter at all. Whatever color or thickness it is, pubic hair can often be attractive to the opposite sex. It acts as a kind of magnetic field for sexual stimulation. That and to provide your genitals with a certain amount of protection is why it's there. Protection. One last thing, don't worry if your pubic hair doesn't match the color of your hair on your head. It often happens that they're not the same shade. If that's the case with you, don't think you're odd. You're absolutely normal, but maybe a shade more interesting. You see, it's possible to be a blonde and a brunette at the same time. That's what they're saying. Okie dokie. What's a wet dream? We mentioned wet dream in the beginning of this book. We're going to find out what a wet dream is. You remember that we described earlier how sperm get out of a boy's body? Well, masturbation is one way out. Wet dreams are another. Wet dreams start when you're maybe 13 or 14. As you expect from the name, they happen when you're asleep. The sperm that you have been making reach a level where they just have to get out. And if you don't let them out by masturbating, they wait till you're asleep and shoot out by themselves. It sounds simple, but there's more to it than that. For a start, very little sperm can escape unless you have an erection. And remember, when all this happens, you're sleeping. So first you have a nighttime erection, which is often caused by a especially pleasant dream. Perhaps your dream is about a girl you know or a photograph you saw in a magazine. Or maybe it's about a nice feeling you had when you were awake. The result is that you get an erection, have an orgasm, the sperm shoots out, and you wake up with sticky pajamas. There's only one thing wrong with wet dreams. You're not awake to enjoy them. Girls, incidentally, have fewer wet dreams and many have none at all. But to make up for that, a girl can often masturbate many more times a day than a boy. Wet dreams feel much better than ordinary dreams. No wonder he's smiling. That's what it says. No wonder he's smiling. Why is mine not like his? Why is mine not like his? A lot of you boys may have done this already. But if you haven't, do it. Take a look at some other boys' penises. You'll see that there are two different types or kinds. One is the kind where the outer layer of skin, called the foreskin, covers the whole of the penis. The other kind is where the foreskin stops just before the end of the penis. There's a special name for how the second kind got that way. It's called circumcision. This is a bit of minor surgery done while you're still an infant, or some people actually get it done later on in life when they're adults. I know somebody that got it done later on in life. The doctor who does it just snips off that skin hat, leaving the end of the penis bare. Circumcision started hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It's still an important ritual in the Jewish religion, as well as in many others. More recently, some doctors have circumcised boys for health reasons rather than religious ones. Other doctors disagree. There is no rule and no proof that either way is better than the other. If you happen to be circumcised, fine. It's every bit as good as the other way, and it may be slightly easier for you to keep your penis clean. But circumcision doesn't affect the size of the penis or anything else. And while we're on the subject of sizes, here's an interesting fact about penises. Despite what other boys may tell you, the majority of penises are about the same size when they're erect. In a fully grown man, that's between 6 and 7 inches. Although obviously there are longer and shorter exceptions and thicker. Other myths is that a bigger penis is a better penis. Experienced women will tell you that this just isn't so. It's not how big it is, but what you do with it that counts when you're making love. It also counts how you make that woman feel. Like mentally, how you make her feel. You got to make her feel good mentally too. Then it feels better, no matter the size. Many great lovers had small penises, and many men with oversized penises are washouts as love. Woo! Tell me about it. You ain't say no, you never lied. Okay, and many men with oversized penises are washouts as lovers. The time when you notice the difference in size of penises most is when they aren't erect. You'll see next time you're in a shower room with a lot of other guys. But the differences can be very misleading because the bigger the penis is when it isn't erect, the less it usually grows when it is erect, and vice versa. The important thing is how big your penis is. It says the gentleman on the left is circumcised. His friend is not. So he's the circumcised one. He is not. So the important thing is how big your penis is when it's erect. And as we've said, when penises aren't erect, they are more or less equal in length. It's interesting to know that girls are built differently too. The vagina can be positioned higher or lower. The pubic hair can be diamond-shaped or heart-shaped. The clitoris stands out or can be enfolded by soft skin. But like penises, one healthy vagina has all the attributes of any other healthy vagina. They may look different, but they can all give and receive the same pleasure. What happens next? We hope we've answered some of the big questions. If we have left some things unanswered, don't be afraid to ask someone you trust, like your parents or maybe your teacher. And never forget that what you're going through is part of the experience of living and growth. Once you've come through puberty, rather like a consolation prize, you get into what should be one of the happiest times of your life. The greatest thing that can happen to you will probably happen during those next few years. You'll meet someone and you'll fall in love. That's the key. Fall in love first. Part of falling in love is sex. When love and sex are combined, whoa, they make up what has to be one of the best feelings in the world. Enjoy it. Take good care of yourself. And good luck. It says, and so we say goodbye to puberty. Look at them. How cute. Aw. The end of the book, you guys. Wow, that was educational, don't you think? I hope you guys enjoyed me reading this book to you. What's happening to me? Fun, exciting, and educational. What's happening to me? Yes. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, don't forget to click like and hit share, you guys. Share this video so everyone can get to see it and find out, educate themselves about their bodies. Yes. Then go on over to YouTube and smash that subscribe button for me, you guys. Smash that thing. And you can even punch the notification tab so that you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. Now, let me say my shout outs to my people, my mom. Woo, 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 woo. Shout out to my mom. Her name is Beverly. Thank you, Mom, for always being here for me. Cece. Hey, Cece. Aw. Thank you so much for being here. Love you, lady. Cece. Aw. Wanda. Yes, my cousin. Wanda. Thank you so much for being here for me and supporting. Jillian. Oh, my goodness. Jillian and I, we go way back. High school. That was way back in the days. Thank you for all your support. You guys, thank you for being here. I'm going to shout out my cousin Ellie and my friend. Yes, I have a friend named Victoria Henderson Poole. Yes, who share my videos like every day. And my girl Sheena G. They share my video every day. And they've actually helped me to get some subscribers that way. So please share my video, guys. I'll be posting the link, and then you can click on the link once I put the link in there. After I post it to YouTube, I copy the link and put it there. And you click on the link, go to YouTube, and smash that subscribe button. All right. Thank you, everyone who's here. Thank you for your love and support here at Audrey's Reading Area. And I will see you again live tomorrow at 5. Live, L-I-V-E. Live at 5 tomorrow. L-I-V-E. I said L-I-V-E. Live at 5. I bet you your kids know how to spell live, and they can even do it in sign language now. Live at 5. See you tomorrow, you guys. Much love. Much love to you. Shout out to everyone. Much love here at Audrey's Reading Area.